you know what's really interesting too? Religion. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't been, but like in a way that's so controlling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, wait, no, how do I put this? You know how there's like, there's like being Jewish, right? You're like, oh, I'm Jewish, but like cultural, right? And there's like, I'm Jewish, I believe in the faith.
Mm-hmm.
You know the two types, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, like I'm just like Jewish. I don't practice. I'm just Jewish.
yeah.
So like, being Catholic is kind of the same thing. It's like it's kind of born into you when you're like Filipino. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know what you're doing. Oh, like Hindu, right? Like,
Not
you know
really.
what I'm saying? No, it's not. All right, explain yours.
No, because there isn't like anything dogmatic
In
in that
Hinduism?
sense. Yeah, I've never been taught like that.
Or like lighting candles type thing?
No, it's not like there's no like good or bad or like doing something wrong or right. There's nothing like that.
Or like no, but like dogma.
Yeah.
Praying. You don't pray? Like in Hinduism you don't pray?
So I've been watching a lot of these thing debates and things on TikTok, and I see there's a misconception because the word praying kind of is what's used, but it's not the same thing as in other religions. It's
Okay, interesting.
because it's not praying to someone or something. It's more of a veneration, or you're trying to get because each okay I can't if you use the word God because that's there's a different context to it, but they're not like gods as in like real beings. They're like personifications of certain ideals or things like that.
You like the floor thing. You said something when we were like I think you said it on the podcast too, but you said it like as we were
Hmm.
growing up. Like you pray to the floor before you step on it, something like that.
It's not praying to the floor. It's a
Acknowledging the
respect.
floor.
It's a respect to the thing where it's like if you view as like the floor because you're stepping on something, right? That is something that you're um how do I say like if you view kicking something or touching something with your feet as a lower thing, right? So you're just
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
respect to it. Thanks for letting us like walk on you, right? Like step on you. But we need to do that anyways. We have in order to move, right? But we're just
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
giving a respect to the thing that is the ground that you
All right.
walk
Would
on.
you say it's like acknowledging it?
It's acknowledging it, yeah.
Okay, fascinating. So that's actually
I would
very
say also like I wouldn't even use the word praying. It's more like veneration. Veneration is different than
Google
praying.
veneration. I don't know specifically
It's
what is
giving respect
veneration.
to. It's like giving respect to. It's not like for instance other religions you have to pray or else God's going to be mad. It's not nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that.
Oh, it's not like an offering.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Like Filipinos do this like it's called like mano, which literally means hand, and you like take the hand of an old person, you like put it in your
Mm-hmm.
forehead.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's not like I'm not like worshiping you. It's just like
Giving
I'm
respect to an elder
giving
or
respect. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for your teachings or whatever it may be. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That reminds me a lot of like the indigenous culture, bro. Because
Yeah.
like they'll do right, because they'll do the exact same thing where it's like you'll like acknowledge something for being alive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fascinating. So there was this we saw this bug in our basement, like in the laundry room, right?
Yeah.
And I Jared's like, oh, kill the bug, right? So I killed the bug, and it just came out. I just like I don't know why I did it, but I was just like I killed it, and I was like, death comes for us all, my friend, and today is just your day. And then I threw it
Mm-hmm.
in the trash. It was almost like that. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
like I'm like acknowledging that I killed a living creature, bro.
Yeah. 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 Right.
It's like that type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
But there's different
Fast.
variations of it, right? Where there are, I forgot what their name of it's called, but they're like they cover their face. They tried not to kill even bugs. Like there's
Oh,
an extreme
James.
level. Yeah, Jane's. Yeah,
James. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, okay.
But they're all like shoots of like Hinduism is not the word is coming from a colonized word, right? It's not the
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
word, right? Sanatan Dharma is the actual thing. But that encompasses all things. Like even Buddhism would be considered that too. So even I would say indigenous cultures are the same
Yeah.
in that way.
Okay. It's almost like there are, okay, it's gonna sound freaking crazy, but like it's almost like there are two paths, right? You have like the Abrahamic religions, which are like all about worship,
Hmm.
right? And then you have the indigenous style. Like I would say Hindu is like more or secular style, right? And it's all about like acknowledgement, right? There's like
Hmm.
worship and then acknowledging things exist. Okay. So it's come out recently about like different types of aliens, right? So there's like the Nordics, right? And they look like basically tall white people. That's why they're called Nordics, because they look like, you know, Nordic people. And then you have the reptilians. And then people are always like, oh, there's this war between like reptilians and the Nordics are the good people, and then the reptilians are the bad ones. And then I heard recently, like an alternate opinion, where it's like the reptilians were here first. It's the Nordics that came to try and conquer this Earth. Again, it's not. I don't know if it's real or not. I'm just saying it's like this is the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
literature.
sure.
And then, like through that, if you think about it, it's almost like colonization, and like that does kind of sound like what colonizers do. You know what I mean? Like if you're calling them Nordics and you're like, oh, they look like colonizers, and then you're giving me a story that sounds like colonization, I'm kind of like, is the Abrahamic religion based off? And a lot of people say this too, like Abrahamic religion is based off of like cargo cults. Like you're worshiping something, but it's like it's most likely just some sort of alien that came down and was like, I'm better than you. So you're like, oh my god, you know?
Hmm.
Like what do you think? It sounds crazy, but it's like okay, that's kind of like it does seem like there's only two paths here, like secularism or like nature-based religions, and then you have like Abrahamic worship style religions.
Hmm. Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is there anything else outside of this? I mean, like I guess we worship Buddha, but like not really. Buddha was like, hey, just follow my paths, and I'm just gonna show you how to like live a more chill existence type thing. You know, like it's not,
Yeah, I mean,
you
it's
know.
not that the Buddha wanted to do that, right? He was just teaching his way. It's not like he wanted to become this level where people would, I don't know if they're praying to him, but like trying to be, put him on that level of pedestal. He was just a human that had
Yeah,
certain sciences that he figured out.
yeah. Okay. So that you'd put that as more like secular,
Sure.
right? Because there's no like we worshipped him, but it's not like he was like, hey, worship me.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So we've agreed that there is mainly two basic paths that you can take, which is like Abrahamic and like secularists, like nature based, you know, like acknowledgement or worship. Okay, this brings me into what are you thinking? What's that?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking, you're saying two things. This is correct. But one seems like it's an outward thing, worshiping something, where a lot of the other things, even indigenous, is more focused on internal.
That's so true, bro. You're right. You're right. It's like either God is within or God is without. Not without,
Right.
like external.
Yeah.
God is external or internal.
Hmm.
That's true. Because once you've made God external, you have to keep seeking Him or them until you find it. But it's like God was within you the whole time, and they say that kind of in like even in the Abrahamic ones, they're like God's within you, and it's like, what do you mean? You know, but why am I praying to you if He's within
But there,
me?
I
Why
think,
do I have to go to church? You know?
yeah, some, I don't know. Some people believe that there's some misunderstandings of even Jesus' teachings, because he is saying God is within you, and a lot of these teachings are like meditation and these sort of things are all there, but it's been I don't want to say twisted, but like, changed or whatever. The change your understanding is lost, and they were saying like that that Jesus did go to like the monks
Yeah,
or
totally.
right,
Lost Years of Jesus, that
those
book.
lost years, yeah, to learn from. When he came back, it was just too much of a mystic for them to understand what he
Yes,
was talking about.
No, no, for real, for real, for real. There's like there's the book called Lost Years of Jesus, and
Hmm.
what it turns out is if you switch the name, like we call him Jesus, right? But his name was actually Isa. So
Yeah.
if you look into like the scriptures, there's a whole history of Isa who went and like learned from Hinduism, learned from the monks, went to Egypt and came back, you know?
Hmm.
And like they actually have, so like after Jesus left wherever I don't remember, was it Jerusalem? Damn, I don't remember. Wherever he was
Where
born,
Bethlehem?
maybe. So
I don't know.
like,
Yeah. Okay.
damn,
Go
I'm a
ahead.
Catholic and it's like I don't remember story, but like he was born and then he like he went away for when he's 12 he left and he came back at 33 and that's when he
Hmm.
did all of his like stuff. So it's like what happened between like 12 and 33. And the book was about that where it's like they're like chronologizing or like they're like writing
Yeah.
down his
The
story, you know?
travels. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So when we went to Egypt, there's this, it's like the Coptic
Hmm.
church
Hmm.
of Egypt or something. And we went on this tour, and the person's like, this is where Jesus stayed inside a church during the like lost years. He like went to church there and like learned from his mom. And then we saw like the house. So basically, there was like a little house that they lived in, and then they built a church on top of the house, and like that's where Jesus lived while he was in
Hmm.
Egypt, like learning
Hmm.
all these things, right? And like Jesus, like not Jesus, Egypt was an epicenter at the time. Like we knew
Hmm.
that there was a lot of trade. It was like the USA of its time, right? So like he went there and he like learned. And then you also know about things like the Silk Road
Hmm.
or the Silk Road. There's a path that you can take that goes straight, like it connects all of the main trading hubs all the way up to Egypt, and like you could literally walk it and you'll be
Right.
safe because it's like a trading route, you know? And they said that that's what Jesus, like him and his family, they like walked it. Anyways, he was like learning all these things. So like allegedly he learned like mysticism there, you know,
Hmm.
from the monks and like all the things and like these thought processes of like meditation and like he's saying things that it makes no sense with the context of that time. But like
Hmm.
looking back now, you're like, oh, it totally makes sense, you know, like just you know, like God is within you and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then Constantine, when we went to Italy, they were like, we don't like the Catholics. Like the Romans
Hmm.
don't like the Catholics. You're like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, because we all know that the Catholics utilize Jesus for their like tactics, right? I was like, what? This is like literally the tour guide, and he was saying that Emperor Constantine was like losing the battle, and he's like, if I go with the Christians, the Catholics, like the Jesus followers, I'll have more soldiers, like
Hmm.
people to fight
Hmm.
with, right? And they
Right.
also promised him like forgiveness because he was like a God fearing person, right? Because at that time it was like the Roman gods, right? Like, do you know what Roman
Okay.
gods
Yeah.
are?
Yeah. 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 It's
They're
similar to
basically
Greek
the Greek.
gods.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
literally the Greek
Similar.
gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they just switched the name. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Nike
Yeah.
is Athena,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So like, yeah, so he switched sides because he was like losing a battle, and then he got all these like Christians on board and like whatever, whatever. So it technically was used and he like put the Bible together using like the pieces he felt, you know, it's like Constantine's Bible. So that all being said, I went to church again for like I hadn't been there in a while. I was doing like confirmation thing. And I was like, oh, let me just like listen to
Hmm.
what they're actually saying.